In 2021, we left our good-paying jobs close to the city of Philadelphia and headed for a country life in the mountains of West Virginia. We had a piece of land, a camper, a dream, and each other. Since then, we've worked hard to start our life here, and we're taking on the biggest challenge of our lives, finishing our barndominium dream home. Our biggest hope is to inspire others through our journey, because it is possible to follow your dreams. So this week, we're actually going to take a step away from showing you our barndominium build and show you a behind-the-scenes look of what it's like to really live full-time in an RV. We've been living in our fifth wheel bump out for almost 19 months now. There are a lot of good things, and there are some struggles as well. Starting with our kitchen area, we have pretty much everything you need to live comfortably. We don't even use our stove there. We use our air fryer and our microwave and our outside grill 99% of the time. We're able to cook regular full meals, and we also have our coffee pot set up here as well. It's just a small one, but it's perfect for just the two of us. So we have everything that we need in this space. The one downside, though, is that the refrigerator is actually very tiny, which requires more trips to town to make sure that we have the food that we need, since we can only stock about a week's worth of food at a time. One tip that I would give to anybody that wants to live full-time in an RV is utilize every bit of space like we did here in our stove. If we're not going to use it for cooking, we might as well use it for storage. I also picked up this cheap cutting board right here to put underneath of my air fryer and my coffee pots, just to kind of keep everything in place and make sure that it doesn't move a lot. And you may have seen these other places as well, but this is one of those roll-away drain mats. And what both of these things do is they just give us extra counter space so that we have places to put things down while we're cooking. And that drying rack space is great when we're doing dishes as well. So these little things actually make it so much easier and more functional in our space.
So, if you do decide to move in an RV full-time, you're going to want to know how you're going to go about washing your clothes. So we do have a little portable washer, which, can get up to like 10 garments, okay? So even though it can be helpful from time to time, you're going to need to look for a place that you can come often to, which is most likely going to be a laundromat. So when you decide to move in an RV, you're going to want to look into those things. Just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
What Eric was referring to is the Lavario portable washing machine. We did do a review, and I'm showing you a clip now from our review video. It is on our channel if you want to go look up the whole thing. Again, it's good for small loads. It's also really great in the summer because you don't mind if it splashes on you or how cold the temperature of the water is, and you can hang it on your line to dry. So for those little things or in the nice warm weather, I really do enjoy using it. But for bigger loads or in the winter time, it definitely makes more sense to go to a local laundromat. Again, it's one of those things that we're going to be so thankful to have a working washing machine when our house is finally finished.
This is by far the thing I'm going to least miss when it's time to move into a home. So one thing you're going to want to consider when living in an RV is how you're going to get your water. So that's what I'm doing now. So here's one of our local springs. This is where I fill up the water, and this is how I fill them up. So the one over here, this is a 6 gallon, and one here, this is a 7 gallon water drum. A lot of people ask me where you get them from. I'll leave the description at the bottom of the page to let you know how to purchase them. So the company is called Reliance. Pretty inexpensive. Like I said, I've been using these for the last year and a half. They've been great. Now you may say to yourself, Eric, you do this twice a week? why wouldn't you just, figure out a company to fill up your water or whatnot? Well, unfortunately, we tried that, and where we're located, we don't have a water company to come up to fill in our 275 gallon tote. So for me to sit here to fill up all these totes probably takes about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how fast this well goes. Sometimes it's slower, but this is the fastest one that I've been able to find.
So like Eric said, he goes and fills up all of these jugs so that we have all of the water that we need for our property. That includes absolutely everything. So we fill in the RV and we use all of the water to wash dishes, take showers, brush teeth, flush toilets, all of the normal things that you need water for. And in addition to that, we have chickens and bunnies that also have needs with water as well. And last year we did attempt to grow a garden, and we did use some of the water for that, and then quickly had to just give up on the garden because we couldn't keep going and filling up water just to water the garden. So this year, hopefully, we will be good to go by the time our garden is in full force, and we will have our well pump all running and all of the water that we could possibly need to water our gardens. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have chickens, and we love them in many ways, but especially for these wonderful eggs that they produce, and the fact that we can avoid all of those crazy high prices in the grocery store right now. We always know that at least we have eggs on our property. And here we are using our outside grill to cook them. Obviously, one of the biggest downsides to living full-time in an RV would be space. So we did get this beautiful shed and renovate it so that we have a space for us to watch movies, and Eric's office so that he can work from home, and it has been such a blessing. In addition, there is extra storage space in the lofts above. So again, if you're considering full-time RVing, I would highly suggest having some kind of secondary space to spread out into. One of our favorite things about living in an RV full-time while we're building our dream home is the fact that we're not paying any additional money to live in it. So we're not paying for rent somewhere else. All that it cost us was the upfront cost of our used RV. So we're saving money every month, and we're able to then be here on the property and continue to work on the house build as often as we possibly can. So that has been incredibly helpful throughout this process. Thank you guys again for watching. We really appreciate every single one of you. If you have lived full-time in an RV while you're building your dream home, or you have any questions or comments about it, we would love to see that in the comments below. And again, don't forget to tune back in next week to watch us continue to build our barndominium dream home. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you do that, and we will see you guys next time.